Hello everyone, HisRoyalFatness here. Welcome back to the channel. Today we are continuing the How to Play series in the HisRoyalFatness, that tier 10 Japanese tank destroyer, where I will show you the 3 consecutive live games to really demonstrate my thought process in this vehicle and show you through my gameplay just how I perform in this vehicle and how I would recommend you should perform in this vehicle as well. So the HisRoyalFatness, absolutely stellar. In fact, I would say one of the best tier 10 TDs in the game right now, because it really has everything that makes it killer. Accuracy, you name it. Penetration, oh boy, some of the best in the game. Alpha damage, 550, good enough. Or 560, it's good enough. And of course, you also have decent armor profile, so it's capable of ricocheting most medium tanks frontally, some heavies, and maybe occasionally tank destroyers. So it's definitely not your 4005 or 183 in terms of armor. It's a lot better than that. Well, how's the mobility? Well, the mobility on this vehicle is also great. Very speedy, excellent traverse speed numbers. The only thing this tank really lacks is a little bit of gun depression, but you don't really feel it. For some reason, you just do not feel it in this vehicle. Furthermore, as you have a boxy armor profile, you're actually capable of side scraping to a degree in this tank. Now, I'm not saying it's a killer side scraper, but what you can definitely do is work around buildings in this vehicle and just lower your profile size when poking around and shooting the enemy team. Something like a 113 GFT, you have to expose so much of your tank to really shoot the enemy team around the building. Not the HisRoyalFatness, you have a rear-mounted boxy armor profile. You can definitely utilize the armor profile to that advantage. So it's a very interesting vehicle. And how do I necessarily play this tank? Well, if you want to be a sniper in this vehicle, that is perfectly fine by you or by me. I'm not going to judge you for sniping in the HisRoyalFatness because it is an absolutely killer sniping vehicle. But what I want to show you primarily in today's video is how to be more of a second line support vehicle, aka going and supporting your heavy tanks or sitting a little bit behind your heavy tanks with your meds, whatever. Not necessarily sitting in the furthest corner of the map waiting for the enemy to poke on you, but instead going to positions where you can kind of create those angles to deal damage. I think that is something the HisRoyalFatness can definitely do with its armor, with its mobility, and most importantly with its gun. It has that combination that allows it to be more flexible than something like a Gorilla 15, which is a more dedicated sniper. Not so much with the HisRoyalFatness. So today, I'm going to try and show you how I play this HisRoyalFatness, and generally speaking, I will not snipe unless I am forced to in this vehicle. There's only a few maps where I will dedicate myself to 100% sniping. For the most part, I'm going to be supporting my team, and that is really the point of today's video. Now, of course, here is the equipment if anyone is interested. This is what I'm running on the tank. Calibrated shells are an absolute not must on this vehicle. You already have, well, 380 or something millimeters of penetration on your premium APs and 300 plus on your standard AP. No need for premium. No need for calibrated. You can just run the rammer and you'll perform uber well, and of course it gives you that extra 230 DPM, which is nice. I am experimenting with armor. To be honest, I have not really felt a difference, but you know, we're experimenting. It doesn't matter. I'm also experimenting with Camo Net in case that is ever helpful. For the most part though, I think, yeah, just running rammer is definitely the important thing you should have on this vehicle, because it's really a waste to run calibrated on this vehicle as you have such good pen anyways. And of course, if I haven't mentioned it already, only 15 less alpha damage on your premium AP, which means, yeah, you can shoot pure premium AP if you want, and you're still going to do pretty much the same damage every single time. That's probably one of the most close to being broken aspects of this vehicle, is your premium round is practically as good as your standard ammunition, except it just negates armor completely. But that is for a different video topic. Today, we are going to show you how I want to play this vehicle, so let's jump right on into those 3 consecutive live battles. Alright, and so here we are. It is Himmelsdorf for the first game. This is not a bad map for the HisRoyalFatness. Actually, it's a pretty good one. There's a lot of alleyways, there's a lot of partial mounds you can poke around, a lot of hard cover, so definitely we can work around this map. Now, the enemy team, they have a mouse, an i7, and an e5, and a lot of medium tanks and some TDs. I think what I'm going to do here is I'm very indecisive right now about how I want to approach this battle. I think what I will do for now is try and see if I can get any shots into anyone, potentially going towards B. But otherwise, I'm not going to commit either to A or D just yet. Now, the enemy team have committed to D pretty clearly, and that means, well, we will definitely get some shots down this way in a moment, I am sure. So that is what I'm going to do. We're going to kind of peek around the corner. We find the big old mouse. We're going to put a nice premium AP round into him, and then pull out of way of his gun there. And yeah, no, we can definitely work this corner here. The mouse, you know, well, the mouse has a lot of armor, I guess you could say, for most vehicles. We're in a Ho-Re. You're not going to be bouncing a mouse very often in your Ho-Re. So we're going to put a shot in towards this Jaeger here and pull back behind the cover. Yag hits us, or mouse might have hit us there for 160 HE. Not that bad. And now I'm not going to poke down here. Not with a Yag Panzer. That's just a bad idea. But what I can do for sure is spot up towards the B side or get farm on anyone who's kind of pushing out from B, aka potentially just 422. Not quite able to get the angle on him, and it looks like there is a Sheridan also pushing in on our left. So I don't know if I quite have a shot on the Sheridan. Not quite. That's fine. We can just continue kind of holding this flank here. Heck, we might even be able to get a nice shot in towards the 422, and that's where that super snappy gun on this vehicle just comes in handy. Now, I think this 422, he's going to go down pretty quickly, isn't he? Yeah, okay. We're going to ignore him now, and here's where we start farming up these enemy heavy tanks, aka the E5, the mouse, all of these tanks that are about to push in. We can start now farming up damage on them because this whole flank is clear. And now I can start working this outside angle, which means I am safe from the crossfire of the enemy's tank destroyers, and I can absolutely just farm up damage here. And here's where the Ho-Re is a great support tank. I'm not being a frontline heavy or anything along those lines. I'm just sitting here, and I'm providing the support my teammates need. This E5 has support for me, and we can just keep holding this angle, and we can just keep farming up the enemy team to our best ability here. There's the Gorilla 15, who has just fired, not quite able to get a shot into him, and heck, I can just push in here. The enemy team are pretty much down on a lot of vehicles here. Heck, there's even an I7 right there. We're going to try and put a shell into him. Not quite able to wing it in, unfortunately. But we out DPM the I7, and we might even be able to AMRAC him if we're lucky. So we're going to keep holding here. We're going to load a premium AP round, aiming towards that AMRAC. Premium AP still rolling 633, and that's my thing about the whole read. Like, if you are potentially in doubt of penetrating a shot, just load up the premium AP. Like, nice turret I7. Let's just absolutely bonk your turret because the whole re just doesn't care. Alrighty. So, okay, the Yag is looking our way. I should be able to out-reload this IS-7 here. We're going to pop a nice little kill shot in towards him. Hopefully, we can bait this Yag in towards the Gorilla 15. He gets taken out there, and now we can just push in on towards this T-125, who's all the enemy team really have left, hitting him in the side for 700, and a solid Ho-Re battle there for 4,000 or 5,600 or so damage. Great. This was an excellent example of support role Ho-Re. The entire thing I was saying about being a support tank. How often did I actually just sit there and let the enemy team shoot me that game? If you think about it for a moment, not really that much. Not until I pushed onto the IS-7 was I sitting in front of the enemy team, but I was still creating those angles where I could shoot the enemy team. And if I was going to be in front of the enemy team, I had some kind of meat shield in front of me. And that's like the whole thing about the Ho-Re is, yes, you have that armor and it allows you to work positions like that much better than something like a Gorilla 15 would. But in the end, you're still a Ho-Re. You can still be easily overmatched by a lot of premium rounds. And if you're going to play like that, just let your teammates, let your heavy tanks in front of you and try to distract the enemy team, and then exploit the weaknesses the enemy team do show when they overextend or they poke out after shooting, any of those situations. Great support game. And now we're heading into a second battle here on Faust. Now this game is going to be a little bit different, I think. The enemy team, they're less heavy. They have a lot more mediums and light tanks, which is fine. It looks like there's a Sheridan over here. We're going to pop a shot right into his tank for 500. Sheridan overexposed just a little bit there. And we can see there's also an Emil 2 down this way. So the enemy team are clearly sending a lot of forces up towards this side, including an IS-7. Not quite able to pen him there. Did not expect the IS-7 to get there that quickly. Not sure where he hit us, but that's fine. You know what? The IS-7 I don't think can really hold there very well for very long. And we do have these bushes for camouflage, and I think we could probably outspot the ML2 here, easily able to load up a premium. Oh no, I should have shot a see, that is where it's a better idea to just fire a premium AP. What's the point of shooting standard AP when you could just load up a premium AP there? But at the same time, I guess that's just me not shooting premium ammunition until I need to. So we can see there's a Waffenträger over here on our left. There's also a 268 around here. We're going to load up a nice HE shell. Hopefully we can hit the Waffenträger for 600 or more roll, but but I'm not too confident in this gun. Okay, we hit 700 plus. I'll take that. And Yak's about to yoink that Waffenträger. So the 268 is now kind of pre-looking around the corner. We're going to just pop a shot him towards his tank and angle us our gun out there. And we were able to deflect the shell on our mantlet. And here's where we can just kind of push in on vehicles like this Emil. Now this Emil may think he has turret armor, but no, not to my premium AP rounds, and the Yak finishes him off there. 268 is probably going to become distracted now. No, he's distracted trying to shoot me still. Okay, he gets a nice little shell into me, but I have this Jaegeru here, and the enemy team are down 3-2. I think we've got this game. Now I'm going to pre-aim for this Leopard, as he is the low HP target, a little bit more dangerous to me as well. We're going to pop a nice track shot into him and then back up into cover just to try and reduce our profile size. There's also a Sheridan coming in from our left-hand side that we'll need to watch for. I would not be at all surprised if the Sheridan YOLOs in to try and shoot me here, so what I need to do is just kind of wait for him to come around the corner. You know he's going to come. He's definitely going to come around the corner eventually, so we're going to wait for the Sheridan. We get a nice little shell into him. That is just where having that situational awareness is always going to benefit you, right? If I had not been paying attention towards what was going where, that Sheridan very easily could have just popped around the corner and hit me in the rear with HE and picked up a kill there. But he wasn't able to because we were watching our mini-map, and that is very important. So all that's left on the enemy team is this gigantic 183 over here, and we might be able to get a nice little shot into him. I don't know if we're still spotted. Appears we probably are. Get a nice 700 max roll, and we're going to pull in, and that's a 5,000 damage dealt. Now this game was a little bit more passive than the first game, I would say. Definitely a little bit more on the passive. Oh my gosh, what an epic roadblock we got here. Alright, I was saying, this game was certainly more passive by me. I kind of sat back here, but that's because the enemy team were sending so many forces. Oh gosh, I just ran into a wall. We're committing so many forces down towards this lower half. It was really not a great idea for me to overcommit to any one flank. Now the 183 gets himself absolutely nuked here, and we should hopefully be able to pick up the kill, but not quite. He gets taken out by the Kranwagen. Still a very, very solid game, and you can see just where the HisRoyal is just such a good tank. You have such a snappy gun, really. It hits so many shells where a lot of vehicles would fail to hit shots. And if you're not overthinking it and you just load up the premium AP rounds, you don't even really need to aim too much either, which is an advantage. I was being a little bit damage greedy when I shot standard AP rounds at the Emil 2's turret. I know it's only 15 damage, but psychologically, you know, like, oh, you're still losing out on damage, which is why I don't usually shoot premium if I don't have to. Thought I would have the pen there, but in that scenario, it's probably better just to shoot the premium AP. And you may say it's pay to win. Yeah, I guess you could say a little bit, but in the end, it's all about just trying to win the game and doing what you need to win that battle. So, third and final game today, we are on Yamato Harbor, a very befitting Japanese map for the Japanese tank destroyer, and we are going to be, alright, the enemy team have a lot more heavy tanks than us, and I'm going to be making the very much risky play of pushing in towards A. Now this might be over aggressive. I could snipe here. I would recommend most players would snipe here, in fact. But what I want to do is try something a little bit different and see just how I'm able to really make it work. So there is the E100. He's not quite looking. We're going to launch a premium AP round in towards his turret. Easily able to overmatch that with our premium AP there. Doesn't even matter how angled his turret is. We're always going to find the angle at which we can pen him. We're going to pull down just a little bit further here and see if there's no way we can try and get a shot in towards his turret. Again, we're going to put another shot towards him. That one doesn't quite hit, but we're going to work this middle portion pretty well, I think. Now, our ISA gets himself absolutely annihilated there. I don't know if he was ammo-racked or what, but he gets taken out very, very quickly. And there's also a Progetto up there. We're going to try. That was a bad shot. So we're going to try and put a shot towards him. Not quite. And the E100's still kind of stuck in the open. So we might be able to get some shots in towards this E100 or maybe even this 57 Heavy. We're going to launch a shot into 57 Heavy there. And my shooting hasn't been perfect this game, but we can certainly make it work out here. So our IS-7 is distracting the enemy's E100. That's good. The 268's progressing up towards the middle here. We're going to wait to see if this 268 pulls forward. He is now pulling forward. We're going to pop a nice shell into him. We're going to try and angle up here. I wouldn't be too surprised if we didn't bounce that. And the 57 is now poking in towards us. So we're going to hope that this bridge here provides us a little bit of cover from the 57 Heavy here. and we're going to just kind of casually back up away from him and away from the 268. So the 268 is now pulling for the shoot at us again. We do get penned there, but we managed to put another shell in towards him, and we've done okay this game. We've done a pretty solid number in terms of damage here. We're going to pre-aim for this 268 maybe, and we got to be careful about this. We definitely got to be careful, and yeah, we don't want to take that shell there. Definitely don't want to take that shot because we'll be a one shell if we do, a one tap if we do, and the 57 you can see is pushing once again down through the middle. Don't think we'll quite be able to get a shot into him, and our spawn is definitely losing, so we need to get with our team. It's just me, and no offense, Vickers, you're going to die very fast, and there's no point in me sitting around in front of you because I'll be the next tank to get rushed. It's much better if I just progress this way and help our M103 and help our IS-7, and hopefully we can win this side, and then hopefully divert our attention towards the rest of the enemy team. So yes, the score does not look that amazing, but the enemy team have been bled out. They are all roughly 2 shots. So if we manage to really get into a position where we can farm the enemy team, then I don't see why we couldn't win this, especially as we have the double cap advantage over the enemy team. They don't have double cap. My team does. That makes a very, very big difference. We're going to pop a shot in towards this vehicle over here, which is great for my team. And it looks like potentially a T-30 could be interested in poking onto me. He's not quite poking yet. It looks like he's pulling all the way forward. We're going to pop the engine boost here to try and pop a shell in towards his tank here. T-30 is running away, and we managed to pick up a nice little kill on him for a solid, probably about 3k or so damage game to end things off with. So what was that game? That was very interesting. I could have sniped in spawn, but I did not feel like sniping in spawn, so I went heavy side and tried to kind of farm up the mid. We did okay there. We definitely demonstrated how the armor profile is capable of bouncing shots, and if you're not bouncing, at least enemy have to aim. And don't underestimate the importance of an armor profile where the enemy team have to aim, because they're wasting their DPM. Something like that 57 only got, well, 1 out of potentially 3 shells into me, even though he fired twice, because he was trying to take so long to aim. I was able to pull in the cover there. That's the advantage of having the armor profile in certain situations, and that's why it's much more comfortable than something like a Grill of 15 in a town. So as you can see, in none of these games did I really play tank as a dedicated sniper. I could have sniped on Yamato Harbor very, very easily. I decided not to. Some of the other maps, maybe sniping wasn't so much of an option, but you get the idea. I like to play this tank as a support tank. I like to go with the heavy tanks a lot of times and support them, or maybe even with the mediums. It doesn't mean I'm opposed to sniping. There are plenty of maps, Castilla, Canal, for example. These are maps that I will absolutely take the sniping opportunities because it is such a perfect tank for that role. And if you are uncomfortable playing your Hori a little bit more aggressive, then go ahead and be passive in the tank. It doesn't hurt. If you're going to be aggressive in the Hori, or at least second line aggression like I am doing, you have to have a lot of situational awareness. You can't just kind of wander off into an area, because it's very easy to get yourself killed in this tank if you overestimate your armor, if you get a little too aggressive in it. But if you manage to get it just right, then you can absolutely just farm up the enemy team and have a great time. Let the gun do its work, let the decent enough armor profile work, and you'll perform really well in the Hori. So thank you everyone so much for watching today's video. Please feel free to like the video and subscribe for more content to come. You guys are awesome, and I hope you all have a wonderful day. What you doing, kitty? Huh?
Saeed on the mix.